Hello and welcome to the latest of my Inside Tracks. Today I'm going to explore the sparkling alliance between Venus, the planet of relating, self-worth and money, and Uranus, the planet of originality, but also of freedom. This becomes exact on the 30th of March at 10:25 Universal Central Time at 16 degrees 44. Now it's been building up since Tuesday the 28th, and it will continue to be in influence through to Sunday the 2nd. I'm going to explore what this means and what the opportunities are, but also what perhaps the challenges are too. If you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, it's great to have you with us. I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. This is very much a community, so please do interact. I do answer each comment. Also, if your interest in more serious astrology is burgeoning, I'd like to tell you about my life roadmap reports. These give you an opportunity to understand the patterns that have played out in your life journey so far, the more challenging ones, but also the ones that have given you opportunities. A more intimate understanding of those influences can really help you. But also my special package of 30% off, you can get your 12-month personal forecast, totally unique to you. No two charts are the same, and this can give you searing insights for the months ahead. Please see the link below. So, Venus, let's explore the archetypes of Venus. Of course, it rules two zodiac signs. Its rulership of Taurus is very much about our values, our sense of self-worth. It's also a very sensual influence. And of course, in this particular relationship, it's in its home sign of Taurus. So it's in its dignity. So this gives us a greater appreciation of the beauty of Venus, which can be the love of the good things in life, whether it's good food or good wine, or more creative and artistic trends. But also, Venus governs the sign of Libra, which is to do with how we relate. And it can be to do with how we present information or present ourselves. Uranus, on the other hand, in the sign of Taurus, where it connects with Venus, is actually in its fall. So this is not a great location for this planet. And of course, Venus is very much about the beauty of a situation and our passions, but Uranus's passion is the highest truth. And sometimes it can be quite direct in expressing those truths in a way that the more presentational energies of Venus through Libra can resist. So I think it's possible that some very frank exchanges can occur at this time, whether it's about relationships or about money. But of course, Uranus is also the planet of rebelliousness, and it can push us to change things. So it's a disrupting influence. Now that can at the time feel quite challenging, but if we do change something, it's because it's stale and it's ready to be refreshed. So our understanding of how we approach our relationships, Venus through Libra, or our money, Venus through Taurus, or our sense of investment in a relationship, both Taurus and Libran energy, is going to be electrified by this very sparkling energy, effervescent energy of Uranus. So possibly there could be some tensions, especially if one partner has been resisting what another has been wanting to say. But then again, because the sign of Taurus is a fixed sign, and Uranus is obviously something that pushes to change things up, there can be a tendency to try to resist that change. So I think whether it's how we marshal our resources, how we approach our relationships, thinking about things in a fresh and more detached way actually can be really helpful for us. So for example, we may see a way to tease out more value from our resources, but it may require a fresh look to see this. Or then in a relationship situation, perhaps it would be a good time for each partner to spend a bit more time pursuing their personal interests. If we are really with one another a great deal of the time, it can smother the individuality of each partner, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Then again, if you meet someone for the first time, I think the attraction can be really quite deep and quite sudden. But with Venus and Uranus in the mix together, it doesn't necessarily mean it would be long lasting. So if you find yourself getting up close and personal to someone at the speed of light because you find them such an evocative and mesmeric influence, it may be best to live in the moment and not have too many expectations of how long this could stick around in your situation. So the second house obviously does govern, just like the energies of Taurus, everyday money. So I think there could be some sudden costs that come up, but also some sudden potential to gain money too. So a very fluid time, but one that definitely won't be dull. But if a relationship has become so ingrained in rather rigid, repetitive and stuck patterns, this is definitely a time to try to find ways to reinvigorate it and find that arc of attraction that really set it ablaze right at the start of the tie. So sometimes we all need to push back against our own desire for routines, and this influence is definitely one of those times. And also to think afresh about how we view our values or our possessions or our relationship to money itself, because perhaps we should be a little bit more enlightened with the futuristic energies of Uranus in the mix. A little bit of an example that's going on in the wider world at the moment is there's a lot of talk about artificial intelligence. Uranus, very futuristic, very much to do with electronics and the media, in the digital age. And perhaps we can feel that machines can liberate us in some way. I doubt that's going to be the case. I feel they could just enslave us more on the basis that it's going to create more free time, because the chances are that many of us spend a lot of time on our devices, and even if it is a choice, it can be quite captivating and hard to resist. So I think that's just a little bit of an example of what we may want to push back against a little bit. Whether it's imposed upon us is another matter, but in terms of our own personal choices, do create as much free time to enjoy the good things in life, which can be a really nice meal, a really nice cup of tea, a really nice walk in nature, but try to do things a little bit more spontaneously and off the cuff. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure being with you. Take care and goodbye for now.